Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I think the instrumentals, Jennifer was just giving the instrumentals some vibe. Obimo, what is Obimo? In this case, Laura Obimo. Whatever. Whatever, you're your own. Okay, welcome to the newspaper review here on Lagoon Radio. Good morning to all our beloved, darling, dearest. Which other word again? Special listeners, viewers, followers on our social media platforms on Facebook, Lagoon Radio Nigeria, on Instagram and on Twitter, Lagoonradio.Ng, and our YouTube channel, LagoonTV. Good morning. How you doing? Are you feeling okay? Are you feeling all right this Wednesday morning? My name is Olabisi Okay, and I won't be doing the newspaper review alone. I'm here with some other hoodlums.
Thank God you said order, which
I'm
means
here with
you are part of us.
some other hoodlums. The only thing they know how to do is to loot palliatives. And they have some touch of ameboto in them. If you want to know, just join us at the Afternoon Drive show by 2 p.m. this afternoon. Okay, Taiwa Adiola Shabi Olegbe, how are you?
Fine, thank you.
Shabi is lost.
She has been lost since.
Good morning, Jerry. Don't mind these people. You can't get me this morning.
Jennifer Ubri, aka Jennifer Jubril. How are you?
I'm alright.
Were you able to pass through the roundabout yesterday?
I was not able to pass through the roundabout yesterday.
She cannot speak a language.
Please, it's not my language. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so in no particular order, we have the Nigerian pilot, the Al Jazeera Midweek as usual, Daily Independent, Nigeria Tribune, and Nigeria News Direct, New Telegraph, Leadership. This day, we also have Daily Trust, Blueprint, This Nigeria, and of course, Daily Times papers. So I'll be starting with the Nigerian pilots. I want to try and pilot you, so that we can start the journey.
You know what it is.
Okay, yeah, so still on the KRE issue, IGP didn't short intelligence special squads, says FPRO. So you can get that full details on page 6 of the Nigerian pilot, and onto page 7. Court orders seizure of 24 properties worth 10.9 billion naira from Army General. At times I wonder, where are you people seeing all this money from?
Nigeria's money.
Seriously, where is this money entering from? I just called the money. I have no use eyes to see. Let me use eyes to see.
I guess this person must have wronged them.
Yeah.
For them to get to him this way.
Yeah. Anyways,
our God is not.
Our God is awesome.
Shab is a preacher of God.
Okay.
A preacher of peace.
Our God is a merciful God.
Very
He
massive.
vindicate all of us.
Sure.
All of you that are keeping Nigeria's money, that you even are not letting the farmer money, trader money, Ugbe money to reach us.
Shepherd money.
No, they say the national cake. Yeah, all the sleeping allowance, walking allowance,
Trekking allowance,
dog allowance, clothes allowance,
mosquito allowance.
all those allowances.
Allowance.
That's
It's not easy to sit.
It's not easy.
Talking allowance go
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And I think as we are giving them all these vibes too, we need some vibish allowance.
Vibes on vibes.
So you can get, you're wondering why, like Sharp said, you can get the full details on page 7 of the Nigerian pilot. Okay, this one, sack CBN governor now. That's on page 8 of the Nigerian pilot, and the writers to that says Nigerians react to Emefiele's alleged presidential ambition come 2023. Also asks Buhari to sack him to avoid his being distracted from his sensitive position. If this is true, Buhari has to move quickly, relieve him of his position, says financial expert. She so that we don't use our money to do kinini. I don't know. We can get so says giving
the
his
emphasis of the now for me.
with an exclamation.
Like
Yeah. Yeah. So says given his success with CBN, it's wrong to retain him amidst such
I mean,
speculations.
you already you have already gained the publicity. You have so many aspirants going for this governorship election. I don't know.
Presidential ambition.
Presidential election, presidential ambition. I'm not saying it's a bad thing to give it a trial. No, it's not a bad thing. But considering your position as the Central Bank of Nigeria,
Central.
you shouldn't even move close to this. I'm not saying you shouldn't be political wise. I'm not saying you shouldn't be vast, but
No, there are
I
some
mean, you
things
should
that
just let some
just
positions
go,
be.
yes.
Yeah.
They may actually have good intentions for
Just
Then
Nigeria.
you have, at this point,
Then
you have
resign.
to stick with one.
No,
Yes.
if you know you want to, then resign. I mean, basically.
There's nothing bad if you want to go for it.
Yeah, it's actually
Just
part
to
of the
ju-
riders.
Just to give people that notion that okay, you don't have any because you can't hold two positions.
Yeah.
Osinbajo, that is our vice president, at least he has not been pastoring for a while ever since he became. He tried, but I think along the line,
it could work.
you can't eat your cake and have it.
You can't eat your cake and have it, but you can have your cake and eat
And
it.
it's
All right, you can get all of that on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot. We have a picture there, traffic gridlock. As first scarcity hits Abuja, others. I'm actually a living testimony because my eyes see where on Monday, like you see where on my way
that
home.
Monday.
I
Let's
spent
not
over
talk
2
about it.
hours.
I ended up going home without your car.
All right, Buhari lashes NAS, seek additional 2.557 trillion naira for first subsidy. Get that on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot. And still on page 5, Buhari jets out, snubs APC governors over convention dilemma. Still on page 5. Then this is still I think page 5 has a lot. We have 78,000 registered refugees drawn from Africa and beyond, says federal government. And still on page 5, Kwara gives reasons for not prosecuting past corrupt officials. You want to know the reason? That you can get up on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot. And moving to page 7, why Nigeria's next president must come from southeast, says Owaneze. The why is on page 7. And still on page 7, inflation rates falls to 15.60%, says NBS. And lastly, on page 8 of the Nigerian Pilot, FCTA secures 200 billion naira for water road projects in Abuja.
All right, quickly. In fact, we've spent a lot on a particular paper because the topics are actually, the news are
Bulky.
actually touchy and catchy. And I want to believe it. The papers carries majority of all we've talked about now. We'll just try as much as possible to touch the new ones. These are just made with because of course, we have the story about Kyari. He faces extradition to US. Police deny shooting intelligence special squad. The story is there and you can continue reading on page 11. Supplementary budget. Federal government marks 2.55 trillion naira for fuel subsidy as states and local governments cough up 1 trillion naira. Sorry, it's 1 trillion.
Trillion, no. Please call that figure with care.
Scarcity rottens PDP governors tackle Buhari may affect inflation rate, citizens' economic crashes. NNPC assures of continuous supplies as black markets may brisk businesses. All of these are riders to the stories, and you can read on page 7. Okay, so FCTA refutes plan to demolish Senate President Speaker's residences. I read that in the news this morning. It's on page 10. The Nigerian universities get WHO certification for vaccine production. Okay. It's also on page 10. And moving on to page 17, Afro Basketball, the Tigress to receive 25 million naira presidential cash award. Moving on to page 27, fresh crisis looms in APC delay in sales of funds. That's on page 27. Still on this matter of form sales. People, somebody go and buy form.
I'm still looking for campaign manager.
I'm here now.
We are here now. Full squad.
What do you mean?
I'm looking for sponsorship.
I'm here.
Huh?
And if I don't pass the boundary, my good record.
Now waiting big pass me and one day do.
All right, quick. Lastly, moving on to page 28, you see Oshun Guba, Arabeshala can determine my re-election, says Oyitola, and that'll be all on the Ajazra midweek.
Okay, thank you. Shabi Olegbe Taiwo Shab.
Just thank you. You're welcome. Give notes.
We're taking the Daily Independent. The first headline here is Buni's APC caretaker committee turns undertaker. Lukman writes Buhari. You can get the full story on page 30. Adulterated fuel. Buhari didn't reprimand CEO NMDPRA, says presidency. And right under that, we have NNPC distributes 1 billion.
Be careful.
1 billion liters of fuel nationwide. You can get the full story on page 29 of the Daily Independent. And the major headline, Buhari asked Senate to okay 2.557 trillion naira for fuel subsidy. Hey. To follow up this one, once 2022 Appropriation Act amended and insists on removal of duplicated capital projects. All of this and full story you can get on page 35 of the Daily Independent. Still on the front page, College of Education lecturers threaten fresh strike. That is on page 29. The full nation want to go on strike. ASU has gone. Tank want to go. Road want to go. College of Education too want to go.
Thank God we have a.
Buhari cancels meeting with APC governors ahead of party convention. We may shift February 26 convention date if necessary, says Uzodima, and you can get the full story on page 28 of the Daily Independent. And still we have gunmen kill 3 policemen at Ebonyi checkpoints. That's on page 29. Buhari confirms Bello Koko's appointment as substantive NPA MD. Departs for Belgium to participate in the EU-AU summit. And full story on page 29. Okay, so we have on the front covers the photo of President Muhammadu Buhari, Ovie Omo Agege, Deputy President of the Senate, and Ahmed Idris Washe, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, during the meeting at the presidential villa in Abuja on Tuesday. And beneath the paper, we have Osun APC crisis. Oyetola Aregbesola in epic showdown ahead of Saturday's Guba primary. Governors group raises the alarm over alleged plot by NSCDC to disrupt poll. And you can get the full story on page 28. And last but not the least, Nigeria's inflation rate dropped to 15.60% in January. For the full story, check page 30 of the Daily Independent.
All right, I'll be taking the Nigerian Tribune. We've talked about the full subsidy between the president and us. And this is from Olubadan designate. It says, it would be good to have a younger Olubadan. And it narrates his 36-year journey from Mogaji to Olubadan. And it says, I'll move to Okearemo Palace when ready. You can get all of that on page 23 of the Nigerian Tribune. And still on Abba Kyari's case, this one says, Kyari Gate. Police NDLEA may clash over indicted officials as agency won't probe allegations. It's red herring, says NDLEA. Investigators grill Kyari. Others as IGP's IRT, SRS satellite units not disbanded, according to investigation. All of that is on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. And moving to page 5. WHO okays 3 Nigerian universities for next stage of vaccine production, says Ted Fund. That's on page 5. Let me take this from page 19 as Aregbesol's fury against Tinubu Oyetola over Osun APC. And on to page 26. Long queues for petrol persist in Abuja, Lagos, Ogun. As passengers stranded, transporters hike fares. Yeah, I think Kay was saying it yesterday, and I think someone else was saying it that this awkward transport from, I think, Obalende to Yaba, 500 naira or something.
This morning, costing system is 300.
Okay.
The traffic is long. It's like thread.
So, petrol sells for 250 naira per litre in some locations. A scarcity may linger for another 3 weeks, says IPMAN. This is on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune. APC convention. Buhari puts off meeting with governors as he jets out of the country. And the writers to that says, nothing wrong if we shift convention, says Imo governor. And Yaya Bello says, North Central better placed to produce the next president. Yaya Bello of Kogi says that. And on to page 26. This is on Oromoni. Oromoni alleges cover-up by government, pleas in son's death. The writers to that says, Corona to subpoena more witnesses. And lastly, on Nigerian Tribune on page 27, gunmen killed 3 policemen at roadblock in Ebonyi. 1 killed, 10 kidnapped in Kogi. That'll be all on the Nigerian Tribune.
And on Nigerian News Direct, Zulum orders construction of new barracks for police immigration. The story is on page 21. NCC demonstrates world-class excellence by setting pace on 5G in Africa. Says NIEEE. It's on page 13. Buhari appoints Bello Koko substantive MPA's managing director, also on page 13. And the major story, the federal government proposes 2.5 trillion supplementary budget for fuel subsidy. And the writers to that says that scarcity persists in Ogun, Lagos, Abuja. PMS now selling at 700 naira black market in FCT. That's huge.
Oh, wow.
NNPC distributes 1 billion liters of fuel and amid scarcity of product. All of this you can read on page 2. LASG to stop operation of unregistered alternative medical practitioners by March. Biko. That's on page 11. Stop disturbing peace in Osun. Ex-Oromio Group President General advises Aregbesola, also on page 2. And on page 15, we see inflation rate reverse direction drops to 15.6% in January 2022. The progressives in Osun needs redirection, guiding moral compass. Engineer Awotorebo. That's on page 2. And also, Senate passes Forensic and Fraud Examiners Bill. Senate passes Forensic and Fraud Examiners Bill. 3 orders for concurrence. That's on page 3. And of course, there's a picture on the front page there. You can see through when you get the Nigerian News Direct newspaper.
I'll be taking this Nigeria. At least something different from the feel that we've been reading. Okay, so on the front page, we have Electoral Act. Sign amended bill now. PDP governors tell Buhari. You can read that on page 8. We have photos of the governors of Delta State. We have Bala Mohammed. And, so many of them. That was the PDP Governors Forum meeting held in Bayelsa. We also have alleged drugs deal gone awry. Carry sad tale. That's the major headline of this Nigeria. Embattled DCP carry in NDLEA custody. You can read that on page 4. 4 police officers also arrested over 25 kg cocaine deal. How he was caught sharing $61,000 drugs proceeds. All of that you can read on page 4. I mean, $61,000 that was gotten from the sale of drugs. And they were sharing it. It is well. Okay, so we have one last story on this Nigeria. Obi Kubana faces further interrogation, grilled twice again. That is on page 5 of this Nigeria.
All right,
Very
thank
much,
you, thank you,
Jennifer.
Jennifer. I'll be taking the new Telegraph just to touch the ones we've not talked about, and this on Twitter. Twitter resurgence boosts economy by 66.4 billion as Nigeria lost 546.5 billion naira to suspension. That's on page 8 of the New Telegraph papers as firm moves to acquire MoneyGram for $1.8 billion. So that's on page 25 of the New Telegraph papers as INEC admits challenges to review functionality of BVAS. That's on page 6 as a woman disguises as teacher abducts 5 school children in Rivers. That's on page 30 of the New Telegraph papers. Emefiele reinforces commitment to economic growth, pledges loyalty to Buhari and Nigeria. That's on page 31 of the New Telegraph. The same Emefiele that Nigerians are clamoring to be sacked. He's still the same person that is pledging his loyalty to the president and Nigeria at large. It is where God will help us.
Amen.
Okay, since 1960, Ndigbo has been canvassing for rights for nation's leadership, says Ohaneze, as Nigeria should choose a president of Igbo extraction or self-determination. You can get that on page 8 and page 28. Ohaneze says that. And lastly, on the New Telegraph on page 26, study reveals that chronic marijuana use tied to recurring stroke risk. Yeah, you don't need to be told. You don't need to be told. If you keep doing this, you stand the risk of having what we call stroke. Thank you. That'll be all for the New Telegraph.
All right, don't forget there's always a leader to watch. At the corner of the national economy, we'll see Mariam Mohammed, IT professional with premium pension. That's a leader to watch. Of course, we won't be able to take more. Let me just take. I have it. Okay, so on leadership, we have citing irregularities, PMB 6 amendment to 2022 budget. The stories there, and you can continue on page 7. 5 killed as IED explodes in Borno State. That's on page 12. FCTA to borrow 200 billion naira for road and water projects. It's on page 11. After ASU colleges of education lecturers threatening strike. So everybody is going on strike. Even women were going on strike. No more cooking.
We'll not cook again.
Please don't go on strike.
So first scarcity bite had a maiden NPC assurance of 1 billion liters. Okay, so the writer that says motorists, commuters stranded, keep vigil at filling stations. Transport fares rise as 1 liter sells for 600 naira in Abuja. Lagos black market. Scarcity may last for another 2 weeks. Yeah, says it, man. President didn't order query of NMDPRA head official. All of this you can read on page 4. And at the very top, we have $418 million Paris Club refunds. Federal government states no faith march. 25th. That's on page 6. And Coco Bello Coco appointed as substantive MPMD. I think that'll be all on the leadership newspaper. We try now.
Yeah, I think we've actually covered most of our papers for today. All right, thank you for joining us on today's edition of the newspaper review. Don't forget to always join us on our other shows and other content that we have for you today and for the rest of the week. And by 10 a.m. we'll be having the moment of truth. You can stay connected and have a fulfilled time in God's presence. To have a lovely, nice, fulfilled, fun-filled and productive day. I still remain Olabisi Simidele. Okay, good morning.
Good morning once again.
Good morning.